Hey friends, it's Charles here with my newest edition of Paper or Plastic, where I talk about a comic book and the action figures associated with it. I want to focus on She-Hulk. I just read this latest issue of She-Hulk, Sensational She-Hulk. Today it's number 6, and if you are new to comics or you want to get somebody into comics that may not be really into reading comics, this is a great place to start. It is serial, whereas it's telling a long story, but every issue has its own kind of self-contained story, along along with being serial, along with being episodic. The prologue fills you in pretty good quickly with what's going on up to this point, and it's just entertaining. A lot of comic books, they have great action, or they have humor, or they have great stories, but this is just, it is like pop music in comic form. You have elements of hilarity. I mean, I laugh out loud reading this thing, and also kind of rom-com elements. Um and so much more, and of course the action, because she is She-Hulk. Um and I highly suggest this. Right now, this, I'm not gonna give spoilers because I refuse to do that to you guys. But in this issue, she's dealing with, a frustration of her personal life as She-Hulk and the hero clashing with her professional life, and her personal life causing professional setbacks, and how she's dealing with that, along with a relationship and work burnout. And there's kind of a funny, kind of side story, along with some of her clients from her law firm that she's attempting to help, which is, I see as kind of a planted seed that I think is going to be something bigger than what's set up here, and potentially hilarious. So yeah, that's about the book. And the first She-Hulk action figure I bought was this guy right here, I believe. See, I should do this before I go into it, but that's not how I work. I'm not gonna write stuff down and prepare. I'm just gonna talk, shoot straight from the hip about stuff that I enjoy. So I believe this is Hasbro. The original packaging is long gone. It came with an alternate head, kind of a in action, angry, hulked out head, and this one, and multiple sets of hands. I like keeping the fist on as far as posing goes. And this is more what you would expect from older She-Hulk. Um, you got the classic, almost Bruce Banner esque tearing of the clothes. And she's not gargantuan, but she is a good size. I believe it's 6-7 inch scale. And to put her next to a character whose size I do know, Sean Spears is 6'3", so she scales out to about 6'3", 6'4". And so yeah, I would say that's probably a 6-inch scale. You have the rep pants here, of course, no shoes because she's all hulked out. And to me, this is more of um, a feral look, more of a less controlled, classic Hulk look. Great muscularity, while having that wild look, she still has, a very feminine look as well. And so that is the first She-Hulk. I got it at my local LCS. I walked in to the comic shop, and the proprietor was like, "Yeah, I got something you're gonna dig," and I got it. I probably overpaid a little bit. I got it for around $30, but it's a local business, and I try not to haggle or hassle too much with the small businessman, because they're trying to bring us a service that we may not have access to otherwise. And this right here is one based off the Disney Plus television show. I have not seen it. Let me see if we can get a little bit better focus. I've not seen the show. I've heard mixed bags about the show. Some people absolutely loved it. I've seen a lot of people trash it. Um, I can't speak to the show. Um, but this is another look that is more in line with the comic portrayal. She seems more controlled, more human than Hulk here. And she's based on the actress. And let's see, stand her up next to here. Yeah, a touch shorter, smidge shorter. Looks like to be on that 6-inch scale. Not as bulky or muscular. Um, it's taller than your average figure, but not really hulky. But like I said, it's based on a human actress, kind of scaled up, so you're not gonna get all that big of muscularity, keeping it as scaled up human form. We talk about articulation. On this one, we have double jointed knees, and the legs move well. We got the feet that move back and forth very well. There's even side to side motion, so you can really get some dynamic posing going with these figures. And then the arms, you have shoulder, the ball joint here with the shoulder, side to side here, and a single jointed elbow. But despite the single joint, you're still getting a lot of motion despite that single joint, so I'm not too mad about it. The only thing I don't like about this figure is it is a hard one to balance. I'm having to use a stand a lot of the time just to get it to stand up on its own. So that's the articulation here, of course, the head. One thing I will say is this is one of the harder head swaps. Though it comes with an extra head, it is a monster to get on and off. That would be my only complaint. And here, yep, Hasbro. So this is also Hasbro. And so I would expect a lot of the same things here. Look at the feet. We got back and forth, side to side. And the joint is hidden pretty well by the tennis shoe, which is nice. And then we have double jointed legs, double jointed knees. So we get a full range of motion right here. And the arms, the same thing with the ball joint here. And then we have motion here at the upper arm. And then when we get to the elbows, we have double jointed action, but it is kind of sticking. Yeah, that's not good. You can see the double joint here. But yeah, I'm having trouble getting the upper part of that joint moving. That might be something I might have to try to heat her up here. I don't want to break it. And so that's a touch frustrating. But I'll get a little bit of mild heat on her. Some people heat them up with water. A trick I use is I actually, when I'm running my laptop, I'll put her next to the cooling port, where the hot air comes out of it. And that usually heats them up to where you can get those joints moving safely. And you don't have to worry about, any paint, damage from boiling them. So that's how I get my joints moving when they get stuck, is I'll put it right next to the computer. And so yeah, this has been Paper or Plastic, my look at action figures and comics that inspired them. Like I said, this is a great read. something you can just jump into at any time and enjoy. I highly suggest it. 10 out of 10. It's going to be for, a great book for casuals. And, I dig it. And then the action figures, like I said, I got this for 30 bucks. My local LCS, I like it. I like the classic look, the, real hulked out appearance. And then this actually got on Amazon. It was a little bit better priced. Um, so I hope you guys enjoyed this edition of Paper and Plastic. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends. If you have any thing that you would like to see me talk about, you know, feel free to drop it in the comments. I have quite the collection, and so I am not gonna run out of material. Anyway, you guys have a good one, and I'll see you next time.